Sir, I would like to request you kindly share the screen, share the presentation. When they said that gardening add years to your life and life to years, we could not agree more to that. So if you also abide by the same and if you follow the same, I, Himanshi Kaushik, your host of the day, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on rooftop gardening. And I hope that you all are doing fine, safe, sound, and happy at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about the gardening through our session today, we have our expert here with us. So I shall introduce you to our expert. We have Dr. Deven Verma, an assistant professor in Department of Horticulture, School of Agriculture, lovely professional university here with us. He has done his graduation BSc Agriculture and Masters from CCSHEU Hisar and has completed his PhD from IARI New Delhi. He has handled various graduation and post-graduation and PhD students and the courses and has now published over 10 publications under his name. So, sir, it is a pleasure for us to be here, to be able to listen in the webinar. And sir, before I would like you to request you to take over the screen. I would just like to tell every participant here, every attendee here that now you can post your questions in Q&A box, chat box, or you can raise your hand so that we can allow you to talk to our expert here. And with this, sir, I request you to kindly take over the screen and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Himanshi, for a nice. Am I audible, Himanshi?
You're audible, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying thank you very much for a lovely introduction, and I welcome all of you. And as Himanshi has pointed out, today we are going to discuss the rooftop cultivation of vegetables. In other terms, we can call it as the rooftop gardening of vegetables. That's why the topic was rooftop gardening of rooftop gardening. You see, we humans nowadays, we are living in the jungle of cement, right? The urban jungles. There we do not have the luxury of having open spaces, having the trees, right? The soil and all these others, these beautiful things, the nature, we can call it. So earlier it used to be thought that the kitchen garden has to be in the backyard, in the let's say the background portion of the house, of the plot, wherein you have some sort of soil, and you can plow it, you can grow plants over there. But over the course of period of time, as the size of the cities started moving on, starting getting bigger and bigger, the need felt for the you can say growing of plants in the vicinity of the human beings. Okay, the best example anyone can quote, and probably all of you would agree with me, is the hanging gardens of the Babylon, right? And not only hanging garden of the Babylon, and here in India also you will find many places, many forts are there wherein they will actually show that the trees are growing for many, let's say hundreds of years, like people tree, burger tree, and they have been there before the advent of the, or before the building of the fort. So nature, you require nature to be around you. Okay, with the same thing, we have come up with the rooftop cultivation of vegetables. Because why not grow vegetables in it? Why not grow, let's say, if you love tomato fruit, or if you love, let's say, okra, nowadays it's available. So why not grow okra? Is it possible to grow okra in the rooftop? Okay, because obviously if you will go for the growing of trees, the roots will percolate inside your inside the lintel, and the roof will be damaged. But these vegetables, first of all, they are short duration. Second thing, they are readily consumable. Okay, so and within a short period of time, you can grow many types of vegetables. Plus, they do not require much of the space as well. They do not require, let's say, if you'll compare it with the mango tree, they will not, their roots of these vegetables, they will not go as deep as the mango tree roots. Okay, so it is much easier, much profitable, and much economical to grow the vegetables in the rooftop, sorry, on the rooftop in the containers. That's why the title says oblique containerized cultivation of vegetables. Okay, so let's proceed with the topic. That was the brief introduction about the topic. And as I've introduced, as I've told you people, that these are the points we have discussed. The increasing population has caused the increase in demand of food. And then due to the increase in population, we are facing the challenges of decreasing land resources. Then the buildup of apartment culture, it has contributed a lot to the you can say small scale living, I would say. आप लोगों ने कुछ ने सुना भी होगा, कुछ कहते हैं ना कि वो माचिस की डिब्बी के जैसे दिखते हैं apartments. Okay, so I mean, sometimes it becomes challenging to sustain in that type of environment if you do not have the company of plants with you. Okay, and if that plant is going to supply you the vegetable that you love, that you like, let's say mint, why not mint, why not coriander? Okay, so then it becomes much more feasible, much more acceptable to adapt in that kind of culture. And then kitchen gardening and growing their own vegetables is a dream for many. Yeah, as I've told you. And that's why this containerized cultivation is a win-win situation for us. It's a solution. And these are some of the advantages of kitchen gardening on a limited scale, or let's say on the in the containers. Then see, you see, kitchen gardening can be done in limited space by the help of containers, right? You do not require a big portion of land of your plot, okay, so that you can grow the plants. As I've told you, you just require containers. And what are the containers and all these things? We'll see, we'll discuss that as well. So you require a limited space. In that you can do the kitchen gardening. You can overcome the issues which are related with the soil. Okay, there are soil borne pests, right? Soil borne diseases, soil borne nematodes, termites is a big problem in many fields. You will find that the farmers, they are spraying, and that is the reason why the farmers are spraying or going for the spray of these insecticides, pesticides, nematicides and whatnot. Okay, in containerized cultivation, in the rooftop cultivation, if you are growing something on the top of your roof, in a grow bag or in a container, there we try to avoid, or it is advised that you try to avoid the use of soil at all. Okay, soil completely you'd avoid. Instead of that, you go for the use of cocoa peat perlite mixture. That cocoa peat perlite vermiculite mixture you would have heard of many times. So you can easily overcome the issue of soil related diseases, soil related problems. And the vegetables in the pots, they warm up quickly in spring when compared to ground growing, that means growing on the soil. And with this, some vegetables can be obtained faster. Okay, Himanshi, my photograph is, I mean, my video is not available.
It is, sir. It is.
It is visible?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it is.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So that's why it's a these are some of the listed advantages. Plus you can always get the benefit or the luxury of consuming freshly grown organic vegetables if you grow them on your own. Okay, so now comes the question, like which containers to choose, right? uh, so these are some of the answers. You can use pots, the earthen pots. You can use containers made up of clay, metal, plastic, wood. You can use grow bags. Grow bags are beautiful plastic bags, but it's a nice creation. It will be much cheaper and easier to grow and handle grow bags. Then plastic buckets, the old buckets, okay, which have you can say, for example, at my home, I have grown many plants in the bucket. And then the hanging pots, they can also be used for growing of vegetables. And the container, this is important. This is a very crucial point, which container to choose from. So the answer must fulfill this criteria. The container must have well drainage and good aeration. That means it should have a hole at the bottom so that the extra water can be drained out. Fine. That is a thumb rule. And the material can be anything. And then what are the basic requirements of a kitchen garden? Of a rooftop garden? Obviously you require container, and after that the potting soil or the potting mixture. Okay, the potting mixture or the potting soil simply means the soil or the artificial mixture that you have to put inside the container in which you will sow the seeds and the seed or the seedling, and then it will go. So the place where plants, and yeah, this is one more important point, the place where plants can get sunlight at least for 5 to 6 hours. You see, if we would have been talking about the indoor plants, okay, the plants, ornamental plants only for, you can say, cleaning of the air, for example, for example, I would say the snake plant. The snake plant does not require much of the sunlight. Okay, but if you are talking about growing of some vegetable, so obviously it will require some amount of sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, as it is mentioned. At least for 5 to 6 hours it must get the sunlight. So that is the requirement of the plant in order to produce the vegetable. Okay, which is a which is very much possible in the case of rooftop gardening, right? Obviously on the roof, if you have any doubt, you can climb your own roof uh, nowadays, okay, June, July, and you will find that how much temperature and how much sunlight is there. Okay, so it requires, the plant requires, so, and you have to provide it. And these are some of the crops which are suitable for pot growing. And if you will notice, by the end of these 10-11 names, I have written dot 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 dot, because basically the growing of crop depends upon the size of the container, the amount of soil or the mixture, the potting mix you have, you can say you have added into the container. And with that you can grow anything. You can even grow, you can see the carrot, you can even grow potatoes, radish, okra, peas, onions. Okay, peas, for peas you require to provide some sort of support. For cucumber also you require some sort of support to the plant, and the support to the plant is known as staking, and will eventually come to that also. So yeah, this list can be very much useful to the plant lovers, to those of you who are interested in sorry, who are interested in growing of vegetables. You see, here in the slide, we have divided the commonly found vegetables into, yeah, according to their requirement for the sun. The crops like tomato, chili, plants, capsicum, cucumber, onion, carrot, corn, squash. Corn, by this mean the baby corn. Okay, squash, eggplant, melons, most of the herbs, they require yeah, so they require full sun. Whereas there are some vegetables which do not require full sun, they can tolerate some of the shade. For example, lettuce, Swiss chard, collards, radishes, peas, broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, beetroot, beans. Basically, if you will compare, you will find that these vegetables, they are grown, the right ones, they are to be grown in winter season. So obviously the requirement for high temperature for sunlight will be lesser, right? And on the basis of that only, we have identified, we have distinguished these. So you can start with any of these vegetables. And here I'd like to add one more thing to to the to the potting mixture. You see, already I have earlier told you people that the high quality mix that contains cocoa peat, perlite, etc. for quality produce and healthy plant growth, right? That should be the potting medium. Cocoa peat, perlite, etc. means you can add vermiculite to it if you have the availability. If you do not have, you can replace it with the clay pallets. Okay, and there are multiple things. There are multiple things which you can use for the filling of the pot. The basic criteria for this is that you see the soil also acts as a physical medium. Physical medium means the anchorage for the plant roots. The plant roots, they actually hold on to the soil so that the shoot portion can grow up vertically and get exposed to the sun. That is another role of soil, although it provides many other things. It provides nutrients and there are a lot of things, but one of the criteria for the media is that also. So this cocoa peat perlite mixture and these things, they fulfill that also. Plus plus we have to keep it in our mind that you see, along with this cocoa peat perlite, you also need to add some sort of fertilizer. By fertilizer, you need not to stress upon, or you need not to go for DAP, purchasing DAP or urea. There are many organic fertilizers which are available nowadays. Okay, uh, for example, here I mentioned the kelp meal. Kelp is basically one kind of the seaweed. Okay, so that dried seaweed is available for you to mix into the soil or the potting media, and it will slowly release the nutrients to the plant. Then bone meal. Okay, these are also slow release type of fertilizer. Then your FIM, your vermicompost, these can also be added. Then this is a very beautiful thing, this broadleaf P4, or in India, the IRI, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, has come up with this beautiful invention of Pusa hydrogel. What is this Pusa hydrogel? Pusa hydrogel basically is like it's a type of organic formulation which basically absorbs water. It absorbs water, and it will release the water slowly to the plants. Okay, for example, if I can relate it to you people, I think you people would have come across this Mammy Poco pants, right? That advertisement. So Mammy Poco pants, it absorbs the urine of the your child. Okay, how does it absorb? Because it has a water absorbing polymer in it. So the water absorbing polymer actually absorbs the water and does not allow the child to suffer, because it takes care of the water, so that that thing is taken care of. But in case of agriculture, this can be used by absorbing the water when water is available in bulk, and then releasing it slowly to the plant roots. Okay, and not only pusa, that means the IRI, even this cassava starch based super absorbent polymer has been invented in our country only, wherein the cassava starch, the cassava is the same food that you eat, sabudana. Okay, so cassava starch based super absorbent polymer.
Sir,
Haji.
sir, आपका ना okay, your video is too close to the screen, sir.
Oh, sorry. Actually, my face is not visible in the video. That's why I'm very much confused. Like,
No,
how?
it is visible to us, sir. It is visible to us.
Okay, wait.
I think
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Now it is visible. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So as I was saying, that the cassava starch-based super absorbent polymer, it has been invented in the country by the CTCRI, the Central Tuber Crop Research Institute, CTCRI, Kerala. So what is the role of this? Why I'm stressing upon these polymers, the soil polymers, the broadleaf P4 or Pusa hydrogel or cassava, this cassava-based super absorbent polymer, is that often at times we are worried that we are going for holidays, right? We are going for let's say vacation to Himalayas. Who will take care of these plants in the meantime? They will dry up for the 4 5 days. They will not be able to survive. Okay, so this Pusa hydrogel or this broadleaf P4, these things, they need to be added 3 to 5 gram per kg of soil or the media into the pot. And what will happen whenever you will provide water to it, water to the pot, the Pusa hydrogel will absorb water and slowly release this water to the plant, taking care of the issue of water availability, okay, to the plants. So this is a nice creation and nice addition, I would say, to the growing media. And after that, I've in the previous slide I've touched upon the nutrition to the plant, just by telling you people that you can add you can add the kelp meal or the bone meal. Other than that, you see, uh, you have options like manures, okay, FYM, as I've told you, the vermicompost is another option. Manures mixed in the potting mixture followed by fertigation with either of the following once a week. So fish emulsion is one such thing. What is fish emulsion? Fish emulsion is the basically you the fish, when you consume the fish, or before consuming it, when you can say whatever the blood or anything that comes out of it, okay, that you can use for feeding to the plants. You can always make this bioenzyme, this very easy cheap technology. We can have another session on how to prepare bioenzyme, wherein I can put in the expert. I am myself preparing the bioenzyme, and I've asked my student to work upon it. Okay, research in the reddish crop, so we can share that experience. And the compost tea. So the vermicompost, if you do not, if you want to add to the soil, to the growing media, fine. If you want to do not want to add to the media, instead of it, you want to supply it onto the leaves, okay, then you can just dip the compost, the vermicompost overnight in water, and next day you just collect the water, okay, you can throw the vermicompost and fill it in the plastic bottle and spray it onto the leaves.
Sir, just one request. I think there are little background voices that are coming in, and hence we're not able to listen you properly.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it okay now, Mr. Manshi? Okay. So you see, we shall continue. If slow release fertilizer is used, then apply the above options once in a fortnight. So you basically require to provide the nutrients to the plants once in a fortnight, once in 15 days. Okay, if you have added this slow release fertilizers like the kelp meal or bone meal to the plant, to the pot. Okay, and the next thing would be training. So what is this training? Training basically means provide the shape or the essential structure to the plant so that the plant will grow properly. Sorry. So you see, the thumb rule is that if the plant is falling down, give it a support. Okay, that is the rule behind training. You can use bamboo sticks, you can use sticks, you can use wire, wood, net, you can use anything. Okay, the basic thing is that there should be support to the plant. However, this rule, this training requirement is not essential for plants which are of smaller stature. For example, leafy vegetables, right? Leafy vegetables, you do not require to provide any sort of support. You do not require any sort of support. Instead of that, it is very much mandatory, very much necessary for for increasing the productivity of the plant in case of beans, in case of indeterminate tomatoes. I think you would have heard of the cherry tomatoes, the small tomatoes. Okay, so that comes from an indeterminate tomato plant. Indeterminate tomato plant, it will means it will keep on growing. Okay, that is the logic behind this word indeterminate. That is about the height of the plant. So obviously, if it keeps on growing, then you have to provide some support to it, or else it will be all hanging down, and it will be you can say spreading onto the roof. That will be a not a beautiful sight to hold on to. Then gourds, capsicum, these are some of the plants. And so that is basically training, and then watering. And I'll show you the photograph of training. See, this is basically you have provided a stick uh, in the growing pot. and this is the watering. Okay. Okay, so the watering basically is required to maintain the moisture, maintain uniform soil moisture. Okay, that is the reason why you require water. The plants, however, they require the water to carry out the photosynthesis. Okay, they in order to fix the CO2, okay, absorb it and utilize it for production of the chili fruit or the banana fruit or brinjal, okay, all these things. And this thing, this word over here, you see, if you are very much worried about the availability of water, or you want to reduce the obviously you have to reduce the amount of water being evaporated from the soil, from the surface, right? So sorry, okay, I'm having a sore throat, that's why. So you can always apply for a mulch. Mulch basically means a barrier, a physical barrier between the growing media or the soil and the atmosphere, the above atmosphere. So you would have seen this mulch to be used in case of strawberry plantations, strawberry, when they grow the strawberry. So they have to apply this plastic mulch, and on top of that only they can grow the strawberries, or else the strawberry will start rotting, the fruit will start rotting. So similar concept, you can use plastic sheets, you can also use hay, you can use newspaper clippings. There are multiple things that you can use for just covering of the soil. Okay, this is the basic requirement. Now coming on to yeah, before coming on to the pests and diseases, I'd like to discuss one more thing. You see, along with the growing of vegetables in the pots, you can grow them directly onto the roof. Okay, but the crux or the logic behind it is that you have to apply or lay down a plastic sheet of 800 gauge thickness. Nowadays people are getting more and more aware about the thicker plastic or thinner plastic, and then this is 200 micron thickness or 550 gauge thickness and all these things. So in the market readily it is available, 800 gauge. You can ask for any shopkeeper, okay, the hardware, especially the hardware shops, they will give you these are thicker plastic sheets, and you just lie it onto the rooftop, and on top of it you can put the soil, put the media, okay, and grow the plants directly. You will not require the pots also. That is also possibility nowadays, it is happening. Okay, so and while, if you are, let's say, if you are preparing the roof, if you are making your own house, then you have to be a little bit cautious about the weight the roof can bear. So basically it is said that it will, because obviously you are adding weight onto the roof. Okay, so uh, I was going through some material, and therein I have found out that the mentioned terminology was 48 kg per square feet. The engineer, the civil engineer, or the architecture of the house, based on the material you have used, will be able to tell you that the roof can bear that much of weight. Okay, but if you are having lesser number of pots, and especially as I've mentioned earlier, if you have if you're growing it in the grow bags, then the weight situation will be taken care of automatically. Okay, now coming on to the pests and diseases. So rooftop cultivation will have zero pest. No, sorry, that is not the case. There will be some pests, there will be some diseases, and you should know what are the diseases and pests that are affecting your crop. Plus you should know the answer to the problem. Basically the pests are like aphids, the mites, white flies. Okay, these are some of the sucking pests. Then we have caterpillars, and there are a few other pests that come and visit your rooftop. Okay, not all of the pests come to your rooftop, but aphids, mice, they can fly. Okay, the white fly, they can fly and they can visit onto your rooftop. So for that, the IIHR Bengaluru, it has come up with Pongamia soap, neem soap, insecticidal soaps. And this technology you can learn, and you can start your own business of preparing the Pongamia soap and neem soap. And with the help of that, you can control these aphids, mites, and whitefly. Plus, these are 100% organic. So they will not have any side effect to your health. They will be very much beneficial. Okay. So the spray of neem oil is also very effective. Neem oil is nowadays available in any of these stores where you will find, or you will go for the purchasing of seed and material, this other material. Plus, at your home, probably everyone would have this ginger garlic chili, right? So ginger garlic chili, if you will make paste out of it and keep it in water, dilute in water, and then spray onto your plants, it will ward off many pests. The chili, the red chili, the green chili, garlic, ginger, if you will add, this smell will only deter away many pests. You can purchase these light traps or pheromone traps. These traps are commercially available. You can prepare your own light trap also. Pheromone trap, obviously you will require a pheromone, so that is not possible to prepare at home, but light traps you can prepare at home. There are many DIY videos which are available. So plus you can order them online. Okay, then you must have the knowledge of biocontrol agents. For example, not every insect which is sitting onto your plant is the pest. Okay, there are insects which are the predators, which are the parasitoids, which are helpful to you and will control these insect pests. For example, ladybird beetle. Okay, that ladybird beetle which has 7 dots on the back. So that is that is a biocontrol agent. So if you spot one ladybird beetle in your garden, then please do not kill it. Please do not spray anything on it. Let it allow to flourish. It will automatically eat away the aphids, take care of whitefly. Okay. And I mean, whitefly, obviously it can fly, but there are multiple things it can eat, but it will not eat your crop. Okay, so that knowledge should be also there with you. And if you simply start observing the plants now, you will get the knowledge. Then microbial biocontrol agents can also be used. For example, morning itself I was going through one YouTube video wherein this woman, she was preparing a biocontrol agent which was based on curd. As we know, has lactic acid in it. Okay, and that lactic acid is produced by lactobacillus, right? So lactobacillus, this agent, this lactobacillus bacteria is useful for us because it gives us the curd, but also it takes care of these pathogens. Okay, the fungi, the bad fungi. So you can use these homemade biocontrol agents also. Plus these biocontrol agents, for example, BT, you would have come across this name multiple times. BT cotton, BT brinjal. BT brinjal will be allowed by the government or not. So that BT can also, it is available in the form of dipel, DIPEL, I can spell it. Okay, dipel, you can purchase it from the market and you can use it for controlling of these Lepidopterous pests. Lepidopterous pests basically means they will, these are the caterpillars. They will chew up the leaf. Okay, so that can be controlled. And then harvesting, obviously, when you have invested a lot of your time, your effort, your money, right? So you have the right to enjoy the fruit, basically vegetable in our case. So the harvesting depends on the type of vegetable and the variety. It's not fixed that you have to start harvesting or from the 15th day or 25th day itself. No, it takes time. Okay, for example, in case of brinjal fruit, it will take time. In case of palak, however, it will hardly take 25 to 30 days, not more than that. While harvesting, you should use a sharp knife or sickle for harvesting. Why? Because when we are harvesting, when we are plucking the fruit or we are taking away the leaf, if you are, let's say, pulling onto the plant, you can damage the plant. Okay, you can uproot the plant completely. So we do not want to do that. Okay, so use a sharp knife or sickle for harvesting, and the care should be taken not to disturb the plant base in the pot. This is a very beautiful this is a very beautiful article from Indian Horticulture magazine I have found. It was written by Kamini Bisht and co-workers, 2021. Anyone can read it. It is available for free. In this rooftop gardening, the avenue for healthy living. This was the title of the article. This table was very much interesting. In this table, you see season-wise vegetables for terrace garden. This is for the Indian conditions. Most of the material you will find for many other states, USA, uh, and other countries, European countries. But this article tells you about the growing of brinjal in the roof on the rooftop for you, for the North Indian conditions, also for the South Indian conditions also. Okay. And it is also focusing on the days to maturity. For example, if you have sown this beans or you have sown this bitter gourd, how much days it will take for you to enjoy the fruits of it. So it will take 55 to 60 days. Direct seeded crop requires temperature 20 to 30 degrees Celsius for germination of seed. And in North India, uh, you can put it in the soil in February, March, and in June, July. That means right now is the season for you people to try growing bitter gourd and bottle gourd and cucumber, okay, and brinjal, these things in your kitchen garden, in your rooftop garden. Then this is the extension to the table. Uh, the other crops have been listed according to the season, according to the month. Okay. And now coming on to another important aspect. You see, uh, there are many companies which have come up for aiding the people, for teaching the people how to start the growing of plants on the rooftop. I can name many. There are many companies. There are many companies. I would say this Edible Roots is one, which you can easily find. It is based in Delhi. Then this Jan rooftop cultivation is there, and there are multiple companies. Other than that, you can start your own company. Okay. Second important point is, so what are the initiatives that government is taking to promote kitchen gardening, to promote rooftop gardening? You see, on the screen, if you will focus, the state governments, and here I mean to say many state governments. Okay, Jharkhand state government, Bihar state government, then the Uttarakhand state government, then this. I think in case of Chandigarh also, the central government allows it. There are many governments which under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Scheme and Smart City Development is offering 50% subsidy on seeds, fertilizers, and farming equipment. You see, the government is doing so much that they are providing 50% subsidy for the urban farmers. Okay. The basic concept is that the house owner with a minimum of 50 to 300 square foot space in their balconies or backyard are eligible for availing 50% subsidy. Okay. And the gardening and horticultural activities on the rooftops will help in improving the environmental conditions and restoring the climatic imbalance to an extent. Sorry. So you see the importance of this activity of growing your own plants or growing your own vegetables is not only related to your health, it is also related to the health of the environment. The high temperature, okay, the issues with the air pollution, especially the urban air pollution, these things can be easily taken care of if every rooftop has its own kitchen garden. Okay, so for that the government is also supporting. Just now I was, just before starting the lecture, I was going through the government of Uttarakhand website, and there they were offering this 25 uh, financial aid for the people to start their rooftop cultivation. So then there is this Agriculture Skill Council of India, which conducts training program on rooftop gardener. So if any one of you is interested, you can go to this agriculture, just Google it, Agriculture Skill Council of India, and you can join this training program on rooftop gardener, and add on to the knowledge. Okay, whatever knowledge we have in the short period of time, I was able to share with you. On top of that, in addition to that, you can always entertain yourself there. Then these are some of the references, and I know ma'am is getting impatient, but that's it. Yeah,
Oh, sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for coming in. And I could see the problem that you were having in your throat. And despite that, you came in, you gave in your time. So thank you so much, sir, for coming in, for providing your experience, your knowledge to us, to all the participants. And sir, there's one question that came in my head once you about this training that you were telling, right? So is it free to when we join this training? Is it free, or is there anything that we need to have like prerequisite to just enroll in
No,
this training?
there is no prerequisite. You can start your own, rooftop garden, and uh, it is available on the website, free of cost.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So is it gonna be an online training, or is like we need to go there physically and then learn things?
Frankly speaking, I have come across this information very much recently, so I cannot say right now, because I think during the COVID time it was mixed up. Okay,
Yeah.
with like yeah, but right now you can go to your nearest station wherever the KVK or this training is being imparted, and you can avail this training there physically. And I would say it will be better if you can spare some 2 or 3 days, yeah, and go and physically learn things,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That is
Yeah,
it.
totally agree, sir. Thank you. And sir, okay, before I move on to the questions, I would like to ask anyone, if you have any query, any question, you can post in Q&A box or in the chat box, or you can raise your hand so that we can allow you to talk to our expert. And meanwhile, sir, we've got certain few questions from our registrants as well. So can I take them up now?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this question that I think was my question also when I was listening is this: are there any regulations that government has, provided, or permits? I mean, are there any permits that we need to have? Like I asked about the prerequisite for the training. Same. Are there any prerequisite for from the government side? To be able to have our open rooftop garden.
Yeah, Miss Himanshi, if you just allow me to stop this screen sharing, and so that I can share with you the comment rules and regulations.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sir, sure, sure.
Okay, just give me a moment. That will be very much helpful for everyone. Share screen, and yeah. Is it visible? The web
Yes,
browser?
yeah, yeah, it is visible, sir.
Yeah, okay. And actually, I was, as I've told you now, I was going through the urban farming companies and all this, their names and all thing. But along with it, there is this, you see, Uttarakhand Rooftop Gardening Scheme. This is the name of the scheme. Is it visible?
It is
Okay.
visible, sir. Yeah, it is.
Okay. And you see here, everything is mentioned. The highlights, the financial assistance of 25,000 rupees. And as you have asked, you see, it was launched in 15th January 2023 for rooftop gardening. 25,000 rupees they are going to provide, subscription, the rules and nodal department, mode of application, you can apply online.
So,
Win-win situation for you also.
yeah.
Plus, you see, this is the requirement. The area of
Yeah.
applicant's terrace should be minimum 300 square feet. During my presentation also, I've added this 50 to 300 square feet. That should be the minimum area. And other than that, you are, I mean, good to go.
Yeah,
The
and
financial assistance.
I can see that 5,000 rupees will be provided for the training that we, okay, that it's going to be a stipend training basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, sir, I think it's again win-win situation, not for me only, for all the participants who might be
Yes.
interested in, knowing this rooftop thing. I mean, you can go and you can avail, I mean, you can get the training and you can also get the money. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
like, yeah. And I can see, sir, we are already provided with 20,000 for the period of 3 months. So
Yes.
okay, so it's going to be a limited time period. So may I know, like, once we have our rooftop, I mean, garden, so what is that ultimate growth that it can have? As in, if I maybe have a rooftop garden on my, let's say, PG, so what is that ultimate growth that I can have for that? I mean, is there any limitation also it causes to our roof or to the house or something?
You see, basically, that's what a lot of people think, that if you grow the plants, they will invite lots of mosquitoes and there will be
Yeah.
trouble. Okay, and then some people will tell you that this soil, if you will add soil on top of your roof, then certainly it is going to add weight to the roof, to the structure. But if you use or utilize this coco peat, this coco peat thing is a very beautiful thing. You see, when once 1 year back, 1.5 year back, I was filling few of my pots. So somehow I got hold of this coco peat, and I filled the pot, the same pot, same size. One pot was completely filled with soil. Another pot was filled with 50% soil and 50% coco peat, and one was completely with coco peat.
Okay.
And I can tell you the difference. You can easily lift, however thin or however pale you are, this half mixture of soil and coco peat.
Yeah.
It works magic, pure
Oh,
magic. Okay,
so
and the volume of the soil, volume of the media is, you can say, volume means whatever
yeah.
the pot size, the volume it is filling, never to be compromised, does not changes at all. Okay, you just add your, I would say you are filling in the soil minus the weight.
Exactly, exactly. And
That is it.
sir, could you please repeat what it was, or maybe we can write it down because
Sure.
for
It was coco peat. I'll show you, if you just
yeah,
wait
sir.
on. And it is available in the form of bricks. You can purchase them. You see,
Okay.
Abono, Coco Peat, Garden of Eden. There are multiple companies.
Yeah.
Dharti Corporation, Coco Peat block. So it is available in the form of block, 5 kg block. And the beauty, one more beauty to this Coco Peat block is that if you add water to it, then 5 kg becomes 15 to 20 kg.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, in few cases it is mentioned that it absorbs water 9 times. That means 5 kg can give you, if it is
yeah.
properly packed and it is nice coco peat, the quality is nice, then it can give you the
Right.
coco peat worth of 45 kg.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Sir, just one query. Like, is it this coco peat is also harmful for like you said, environment? Like, what is it made of?
It is made up of coconut fiber.
Oh,
नारियल तो सब खाते हैं,
yeah. That's, I
है ना?
think,
तो
yeah.
नारियल का जो ऊपर का छिलका होता है सब निकाल के बाहर फेंक देते हैं.
Correct.
ठीक है, उससे बनता है ये कोकोनट. सो इट हैज नो साइड इफेक्ट ऑन द एनवायरनमेंट, ऑन द प्लांट. हाँ, it contains some sort of salts because, as we know, coconut grows in the areas which are adjoining to the seashore.
Yep.
So it absorbs a lot of soil, but during the process of preparation of coco peat, that salt is already removed by water.
Okay. Yeah, sir. I think this is something that I am also going to try. Also, this one question, that's again my personal question. So, can we use a pot that is made of plastic? Like we all have these bottles, right? Like they are just filling up. right? So I just want to know if we can use those plastic bottles as pot, not the actual pot that we have, that we use basically.
Sure, you have a very beautiful question. You see, why to invest money on something when if you have
Yeah,
some source with, let's say, some alternative available, right?
correct.
So this document comes from Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, we have an institute named as Manage. Those of you who are from agriculture background will be able to connect. Let me just, it's actually downloading the page. So this document, this 72-page document, it tells us about the success of kitchen gardening in and around the area, that Hyderabad area. Okay,
Okay.
Hyderabad, Secunderabad, these are the two sister
Yeah.
cities we call them. They are very much close to each other. So this you can see good practices and knowledge management of urban farming. And this paper, this document, it's a very beautifully written document. In this, they are telling us that what are the how to do it, what are the inputs that you require. And you see, this is a success story. The ma'am is harvesting, she's looking at the bit this ridge gourd. Okay, and these plants, they are growing in the kitchen garden only.
Okay.
You see, sir, he is growing, probably he's retired from army.
Mm-hmm.
He is growing in the buckets.
Yeah,
Okay, these,
I can see that.
yeah. And not only these, um, as you have asked, the bottles. So yes, the bottles can be cut in half.
Yeah.
Instead of cutting them vertically, if you cut them horizontally, then
Mm-hmm.
you can use it for growing uh, vegetables as simple as mint,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So there are multiple things. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for like giving me for resolving my queries. And so with this we have our last query. So just I think I just forgot the name. Okay, yeah. So it is from Viraha Sharma and it says, can you provide some tips for optimizing space and maximizing the plant growth? Like if we have a rooftop garden here, so how can we optimize the space and hence maximize the plant growth?
Okay. To Viraj and to others also. You see, when I was delivering the presentation, that time I have mentioned the word training.
Yeah,
Okay, so that word is very much important to manage the space, because when we are training the plant, we are allowing the plant to grow vertically. In this document also, ma'am, she was looking at the ridge gourd
yeah,
which was hanging from some sort of support. Okay,
correct.
then the other thing, the other criteria, sorry, the other management tip can be use of these bottles, like as you have mentioned, plastic bottles.
Yeah.
So one on top of other, in 3 4 stairs, I would say,
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
can place these bottles. And instead of occupying space onto the ground, you can just hang the bottles with
Yeah.
the roof, with some sort of I think every one of us has these wires
Was
on.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Right.
For drying of clothes.
Yes. Yes.
So with that, you can easily hang these bottles, fill them with coco peat, and use that space.
Yeah, I think again, I mean, it is as simple as it looks.
Yes.
Um,
Actually,
So,
this question in itself is very much difficult to answer, what you have mentioned. Because when we are talking about managing the space, we actually need to go to the visit, to the site. Okay,
yeah,
where your rooftop is, what are the supporting, you can say, beams are there, or is there anything that you can, let's say, artificial structure that you can raise onto the on top of your rooftop, if will it be able to take up the support, okay, to the weight. And there are multiple things that are to be taken care of while we are talking about the managing of space.
yeah. And I totally agree, sir. And I think with this, we're done with the questions. And at last, I would want to thank you again for the way that you've explained. And again, I mean, there were some personal queries also. You've resolved them also. So thank you so much. And sir, with this, I would like to take your permission to show all the students, all the participants about the admission process as to where they can go and take admission from. So can I?
Sure, sure.
Okay. So to all the admission queries that we've had, there's one short resolution for that. And for this, I am going to share my screen. Okay, so I believe my screen would be visible to everyone. So this one sort resolution for every question that you've had regarding admission query is lpu.in. That is a site that is called lpu.in. So before I move on to the admissions specifically, I would like you to show our webinar page. Since you have attended this webinar, right? So how you can actually attend different webinars that are already listed on our site. So you simply click on this lpu.in. This will be the interface that will be coming in front of you. And after that, you click on admissions right here. So once you click on this admissions, at the left hand side, you can see this LPU's EduFair webinar page. So once you click on that, you'll be seeing all the webinars that are listed, and we have webinars coming on almost every day now, and you can see different webinars are coming in. You can register it. These are all free and gain as much as knowledge you want. And for the past webinars, let's say if you wanted to attend any of the webinar and you could not, so here you can actually see the recordings. You have the YouTube recordings available, and for this webinar also we will be providing the YouTube recording, and you can see it on the site as well. Now moving back to our admission queries. So once I click on the admissions, you can see here different programs that are very beautifully adjusted and segregated, of course. And you can see after 12th, after graduation, after post-graduation, doctoral diploma, etc., etc. So now I'm just taking an example, and I'm assuming you are somebody who's done your 12th grade and wants to take part in a regular program in undergraduate, right? I mean, you want to take an undergrad program. So you simply go to after 12th, undergrad and regular programs. And once you click on the regular programs, there will be a whole lot of disciplines that are visible to you. You can see in here, you name any of the discipline, we have it here: engineering, management, commerce, law, applied medical sciences, etc. So I mean, you can take any of the name, we have it here. And since we were talking a lot about agriculture today, and just mentioning rooftop gardening, so just taking an example of the same, so I will be clicking on agriculture, and once I click on any of the program, any of the discipline, to be very specific, the programs, the courses that are offered under that discipline are visible to you. So you can see, once I clicked on the agriculture here, you can see I have the program BSc Honors Agriculture. And once I clicked on this BSc Honors Agriculture, we have all the knowledge, all the information that we would require to know about a certain course or a curriculum. So you can see there are these highlighted options. So in next 1 minute, I'll be briefing them all. So this program details actually tells you all about the eligibility, whether you're eligible for a particular course or not. You can get it from here. As you can see that here it is written that you need to have you need to qualify LPUNS, CUT, NWT, J means any of the tests, and have to have at least 60% aggregate marks in your 10+2. With English should have been your main subject, along with physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, or forestry. And there are other options as well, so kindly explore them and get the relaxation if you want. Now moving to the highlight option. So this highlight option basically gives you all the research points, what all researches has been done, what all patents, what all students that we have are achieving in this particular course, and what all the rankings are for in context with the course. So you can find it in the highlight option. Now moving to the curriculum part. So curriculum part basically gives you all the details of the course that you will be studying in your 2, 3, 4 year curriculum. So basically, you know that these are the details of the autumn and the spring term, right? So you can, that these are the courses that you will be learning in the autumn term and the spring term. I think this would help you to make a disciplined decision as whether you want to proceed with a course or not, because you know that these are the things that you're going to be studying in your 2, 3, 4 years of the course. Now moving to the fee structure, very important part for the student. So this fee structure is 1,20,000 per semester. But again, this is not something that our students usually pay, because they get a lot of scholarships, and the basis, as you can see in here, we have basically three slabs of the scholarship, three categories of the scholarship, 1, 2, and 3. And on that basis, you will be getting your scholarship. So basically, you get you can get up to 38% of the scholarship, right? So here you can check what you need to have to avail this much of the scholarship. So kindly explore this also. Now is the important thing, is important date. What is the last date of the admission? And that is 25th June 2023. So it's not too far now, it's already 20th today, so just 5 days from now. So I would urge you and request you to kindly explore the site and apply for the course or the test if you want to. Now last is how you can apply. Simply click on apply now option, and there are some bare minimum requirements that will be asked. And once you fill in these and requirements, you click on the submit, will be given your dashboard, and from the dashboard you can actually apply for the course or apply for the test, whatever you want to. And I would just last urge you to kindly apply for the course, because after this date you might not be able to get the chance to to get admission in the favorite course that you want to. So now I think I have given you a brief as to how you can take admission and what all you need to do. Now last is that if anything that you need to ask, you can just write in the chat box or the Q&A box, or if not, then you can simply schedule a call. You can either WhatsApp us or have a live video counseling session as well. So these are already on the website. And last but not the least are the numbers that you can maybe write it down somewhere. These are the numbers that are, once you call on them, our counselors will be here at this end, would be providing resolution of the queries that you have. So I think I think I've given you a brief as to how you can go and take admission and where you need to go. And I hope that you will be exploring the site, and I hope that you will be exploring our webinar page as well. And with this, I will take permission from our expert here, of course. Devin sir, can I wrap this webinar up now?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
Once again, thank you, Himanshi ma'am, as well as thank you for all the lovely audiences. Okay, and be in touch, take admission in LPU. Okay, so that we can learn a lot of things like this.
Definitely, sir. And thank you so much for giving in your time for explaining things. And thank you so much to all the participants, of course, for being here for this long hour now. And all the questions that you've given us are really, really appreciated. So until next webinar, stay safe and stay healthy, and kindly explore the page that is our webinar page, lpu.in, the site, and apply and register for different webinars. Meet you soon in the next webinar. Thank you so much for joining in.